Only one type of burger. For every pallet. Fries are extra. Large in size. We've got the shakes. Going over the brim.
Hey, this is Chris from JCW's. Put a positive, delicious spin on your day at any one of our 5 locations. In Lehigh, American Fork, Provo, South Jordan, or Harriman. JCW's, quality and a lot of it.
Celebrating the grand opening of the Bullfrog Spas factory store in Billings. From March 6th to 16th, purchase a Bullfrog Spas premium hot tub or swim spa and receive up to $3,000 off MSRP, plus a free essentials accessory package. Bullfrog Spas' patented and customizable jetpack therapy system allows you to choose your desired jetpacks for optimal relaxation and pain relief. Visit our new showroom in Billings today or online at bullfrogspas.com.
The sports you love, the teams you can't live without.
Get a sense of urgency!
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. We are live, 11610 District Drive in South Jordan. You will know it from the smells. It's Kenny J's Barbecue. Doors are open. The games are on. Station's going to be down here until 3 o'clock. So if you're looking for lunch, come on down. Even when we leave, the doors stay open. So if you want to watch BYU's game tonight, come on down, grab some barbecue, celebrate with your friends, celebrate with your family. This is a day of celebration. We're talking about college basketball. This is the best day on the calendar. So come on down and mix it with the best food you can find in town.
How can you do better?
Brisket,
Barbecue.
burn ends,
Brisket, burn ends,
banana pudding.
multiple games. Your teams are advancing in both TVs.
Not mine. I had Ohio State.
It happens.
It was a mistake. They're down 15 at the half. It's going to be a short run for the Buckeyes. All right, he is live in Portland, getting ready for BYU tonight, taking on Texas. It is your co-host every morning. It is Patrick Kinahan. What's going on, PK?
I'm just sitting here. It's halftime of the game that you just mentioned, and I picked TCU, so I'm about to go 1-0 as long as the Horned Frogs hold on.
Nebraska, they're going to get their first win. They are they up on Troy right now? Are they playing Troy right now? They are playing Troy. They're up 18-15. All right, Nebraska might be able to get their first ever win.
Good for them, yeah. I certainly picked Nebraska. They're having a good season.
All right, PK, tonight, BYU. What are you expecting? This has been a team that game in and game out. I don't know if we know exactly what you're going to get other than maybe some slow starts and an all-star performance from A.J. DeBonsa. Can they do that tonight against Texas and still hope to advance?
I don't think they have to play as good as they possibly can. Texas has been an extremely up-and-down team. At times they look decent, beating Georgia when Georgia was ranked. Other times they don't look good. I mean, they closed the season. They had lost, 4 or 5 out of the last 6, I think. Mm-hmm. They'd beaten A&M, and they were one and done in their tournament. It was a big upset by Ole Miss. So I'm not sure what they are now. They got a little momentum, I guess, if you want to say that, beating NC State on that last second bucket to win by 2 points. So if I look at them, maybe I think that, okay, if Texas plays extremely well, if BYU struggles, well, then that's going to be a problem. But if Texas plays its usual game and BYU plays its usual game, and maybe doesn't have some of the role players break out and they can save that for Saturday, I still like their chances of winning. In fact, I would go so far as to put an extra S at the end of Texas and say that's what they are.
You are in Portland, and you remember back in the day when you were traveling the NCAA tournament and you kept seeing Kentucky. There were so many Kentucky fans, they would literally have Lexington newspapers. That was back in the day. In the hotel lobby because there were just so many fans, and the blue was everywhere. Is that how Gonzaga fans or BYU fans are in Portland, or is it a little more muted for both these teams? Granted, it's early in the day and they're playing later. But have you seen them around town?
Yeah, I went to several bars last night, and the amount of Cougar fans that I ran into was just overwhelming. I mean, there was 40, 50 of them per bar. It was crazy. Okay, I'm kidding.
Full BYU regalia?
Outside smoking? Yeah, that's a pull. A funny pull, but a pull.
That's a 20-year-old Las Vegas Bowl joke from some
Yeah.
who was mad at BYU.
Didn't he listed like the exact number was like 24 or something like that?
Yeah, it was. I saw 24 BYU. Full
Counted them up.
Regalia. What are you doing? I'm putting on my regalia.
Regaling. All right. AJ DeBonsa has been unstoppable every game that he steps up. But DJ and I talked about it on our first segment, PK. I don't know if I've seen him really, quote unquote, flip the switch as far as him saying, I'm going to take over this game. It has to be me. He's had some stretches where he's done it naturally. I'm not sure if we've seen him open a game and say, for the next 40 minutes, nobody's going to be able to stop me. Do you think he has that gear? Has he been saving it? Or do you think BYU needs him to have that gear?
I don't know that they need him to have that gear tonight. We'll see how Texas responds. Maybe so. Maybe Texas comes out and just is on fire. You never know. It's not like it would be just shocking totally out of the blue if that were to happen. But I get your point. I think that the best we saw him in terms of what you're describing, Ben, was maybe Utah at the Marriott Center, where he just decided, okay, I am extremely hot. And if he's hot from three, well, then, wow, it's really lights out because he takes the ball to the basket better than anybody that I've seen in college basketball this season. He's so long. He has those giant steps. We were joking that in his spare time he ought to go win the triple jump in the Olympics because the amount of space and real estate he covers between each stride is really something. And if he's hitting the three with that ability, plus that ability to get into the lane, like right in front of the free throw line and do that little fadeaway thing, that's almost unstoppable. So it'll be interesting to see because I get your point. Why not do it? Because there's been some times you thought, you're a little passive. You're letting Rob Wright dominate the ball too much. And, when Wright finds those alleys, he can usually get to the basket. It's a question of then can he finish at the basket? And Texas has some dudes. They got the big Lithuanian dude there in the middle who's 7 feet. I think he's a countryman of the kid who plays for Arizona. If you remember the Cats coming into the Marriott Center and then also BYU following it up playing down there. So I would like to see Wright not defer, but especially if DeBonsa's got it going on, let him have the ball more and let him decide because he's a willing passer, and it's almost impossible to go high post, low post with Rob Wright. He's too small. So what I mean is that if AJ can do it, he can get Keita some easy buckets. And it always helps to get easy buckets, particularly in a one-and-done situation where every possession is so heightened and it's intense. And if a team goes on a 6-0 run, you can feel the surge in the crowd. It's like, oh no, because if you don't respond, your season's going to be over. So yeah, I would like to see him try to take over a little bit more. That doesn't necessarily mean shooting all the time because I think he's a willing passer and he's a capable passer. So if he could find ways to get his other teammates involved, particularly a couple of those role players, and if they can hit 1 or 2 or 3 threes among, let's say, like Davis and Kostic and Mihailo's been off and on, but if he manages to hit some, then that just makes the job that much easier for the Cougars to win.
You're talking to some of the guys there who don't go to the podium. That's the advantage of being there. You have a chance to go around the locker room, maybe catch them in a hallway and that. Those tend to be the role players who have been up and down for BYU, and a few of them have been up and done some really important stuff in some of the wins they've had here. You got a vibe on any of these guys you're looking at thinking you might be the unsung hero tonight?
Yeah, and you're right, DJ. That is something, you go to the podium and it's kind of sterile, right? They control the environment, and I don't like to go in there that much. Yeah, because you can get the sound that's available for everyone. You can't get the one-on-ones. You got to go in the locker room and get a feel for the guys. And I did that yesterday, bounced around, talked to – I think I did 3 interviews that we played, but I talked to 2 or 3 other guys just to try to get a feel of what they're thinking, and some of those 87 assistant coaches that I don't even know what all their titles are. We just see what's the feel, and the team, and maybe it's false, but the teams to me right now, this day against this team, does seem to have a level of confidence that would indicate that they can go out there and play a loose form of basketball. And I think that these role players who didn't really have an opportunity to play earlier in the season, I mean, I think that Kevin Young didn't do a good job of cultivating the bench. He just went with certain guys, and that was pretty much it. And because of injury, they've had to extend the minutes and give some other guys an opportunity. And I think each of the guys, and Kadeem being one, Kennard Davis starts, but he's had to have an increased role, so obviously he's a role player. And Kostic, the kid has a level of confidence. I can make open shots, guys. If I get open shots, I can make them. I have made open shots on many continents on this planet, and it's hard to say that. And so talking with him, he's a freshman, but he's feeling like, I can help this team. Just give me an opportunity. And you like that. I mean, he took some shots like you're thinking, ooh, is that really a good shot? But the fact that he has the confidence to take it is half the battle probably. You've got to believe it in order for it to happen. And I think that because of the injury, the byproducts of the injuries, which do suck for the individuals, Richie Saunders doesn't get an opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament again in his life. Dawson Baker, they didn't honor him on senior day, which means it probably indicates he's going to come back. But because of the misfortune or unfortunate circumstances involved in the injuries, it's given at least 2, maybe 3 guys an opportunity to get some confidence. And I think they have it right now. It could be fickle, but I think they have it right now.
I don't get the impression anybody's expecting a deep run, and I don't even get the impression that that's kind of the expectation as far as that's the goal is obviously survive as long as you can, but it doesn't feel like there's major pressure to get to the second weekend or make an Elite Eight run, despite the fact that they're probably never going to have another player with the caliber of AJ Bonsa. We're just not going to see. There's not that many guys ever that come through college basketball that are that good, much less end up at BYU. So how do you think they are approaching it? Are they loose in that sense? You said they're confident, but is it confident because the expectations are low or because they like their first round opponent?
I think they feel confident that they can win the first round game, and I think they feel if they were to lose it, or they would feel that would be a disappointment. From there, I'm not a guy who goes with, you hear this occasionally, X team or X player is playing with house money. I don't really buy that. I don't buy that theory. I do think that if they win tonight, I think they're expected to win, and if they don't, well, that's a crappy way to end the season. Now it's sort of like the end of the conference tournament, right? They go into it and they beat Kansas State, crazy games like 100-91 or something like that, right? And then the next game's like, we got to get revenge because we sucked a few weeks earlier when we went to West Virginia, right? That was the second of a 3-game losing streak. And obviously they got that game, and they really played probably their best defensive effort of the season in that ball game. And then at that point, they go into the game against Houston knowing that, hey, we're a little outmanned. Houston, I don't think they've ever beaten Houston since they've joined the conference for that matter. And so they play well enough to at least feel good about it, but they don't beat Houston. And they understand the circumstances, right? So I think that's where they'll be probably as early as Saturday if they're able to win tonight, to where, okay, we might be a little outmanned, although this really isn't one of the better Gonzaga teams that they've had, I don't think. DJ and I were talking about it. We haven't paid as much attention to Gonzaga as we would have normally been the last decade plus because they were in BYU's conference, and that was a requirement to know it. You didn't have to worry about most of those teams in the West Coast Conference, but you better know something about Gonzaga. So with that in mind here, I think that might be the case, but I want to see if they win and then talk to them tomorrow what their thoughts, what the feel, what the mood and the vibe of the team is. They may feel, especially guys, if they come out and just rock it tonight, that may change thinking, well, I mean, we got this, man. We compete with Gonzaga. And then my thought of like that Houston game after it was lost, it was like, okay, we played well. but we just weren't good enough. That might be what it is next week in the Sweet 16 game, or if they don't play well but still manage to win, it might come in terms of the vibe on Saturday, like Gonzaga is like, okay, we've probably taken this as far as we can go.
I think in this quadrant with BYU, Texas, Gonzaga, and Kennesaw State's the only one who would possibly say we're playing with house money. But having gone to UC Santa Barbara and having been there when they won their only tournament game, even with those teams, there's this sense like, hey, we better grab this opportunity here in the second round because it's not coming around for us anytime soon again. And for UCSB, it literally has not come around again. Decades. They're still waiting to win another game and get to the round of 32. So I'm with you on that house money thing. I don't think BYU, Texas, or Gonzaga would approach a game like that with that vibe. It'd be more like we're us. Sweet 16 is what we need to do.
Yeah, I think so. And they got the Bonsa thing here, and who knows what Kevin Young's going to pull out of his hat. And this branch turns out to be what they say is right now. The idea of them having 3 lottery picks in Kevin Young's first 3 years, combined with, let's say, for 2 years anyway, we'll see what next year brings, but 2 years have 3 tournament wins. That's pretty impressive for first barely getting into it and see what he does. But I want to see how they look today. I think today to me is a litmus test in what you've been telling us. Kevin has been spinning it now for over a week. Hey, we're playing our best ball at the right time of year, right? And we all get it. It's coach speak, and you want to make sure that your players are confident when they take the floor or field or court or whatever sport they're playing. You got to have confidence, right? And Kevin it's not like he's been going overboard, but he certainly has been emphasizing, hey, I dumbed down the defense. I just focus on effort. Give me all you got for as long as you got, and play hard and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And so they did have these last 3 games where it was effective. Now, here, different story, stakes higher. I think we get to really see, okay, was that something that has really been true, or was that more the coach talk in the middle of it?
PK, enjoy Portland. Enjoy the game tonight. We'll catch up with you in the morning.
All right, guys. Thanks.
There he is, Patrick Kinahan, giving us a breakdown live from Portland as he gets ready for BYU and Texas tonight. 5:25. We're hanging out live at Kenny J's Barbecue at the District in South Jordan. It is weird that there doesn't feel like there's more urgency with this team because as good as Bruce Branch III may be, and he's not going to be AJ DeBonsa. Probably not going to be AJ DeBonsa. I mean, the AJs of the world are very few and very far between. You saw Cooper Flagg last year, and he's unbelievable. And even Darren Peterson this year, who's still expected in some mocks to go above AJ DeBonsa, has not been as good this year as AJ. I mean, he's not just an elite NBA prospect. He's lived up to that expectation in college.
Duke's one of the very, very few schools where you might get Boozer right after you get Flagg, right?
Yeah.
But if you think about Texas, who BYU is playing, well, they had Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Who's the next best player?
They've never followed it up.
Right. I mean, how often does Texas have a top? Well, in case of Durant, he ended up being the second pick in the draft. But how often they have a top 1, 2, or 3?
Yeah,
it's
very rare.
They got money. They've got an NBA-sized arena on campus. They've hosted NCAA tournaments. They've hosted NCAA Sweet 16s there. They've got oil money, and they don't do it very often.
We're live at Kenny J's Barbecue at the District in South Jordan, 11610 District Drive. Come on down. The doors are open. The games are on. It is lunchtime. And, man, everybody's hungry. Everyone's excited for some basketball. Kenny, thanks for jumping on with us once again. What time does your morning start?
I was here this morning around 4:30. I was a half hour late.
And that's every day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I took yesterday off.
Oh, okay.
The morning.
Well, good for you.
In the afternoon.
Oh, okay. It was like, 6 a.m. for you? That's the afternoon, considering your normal start time is 4?
I had to do yard work.
Oh, okay.
Because our son's on his mission, so I had to do all the yard work.
Hey, when you jump, a lot of people have used pellet smokers, had pellet smokers. Maybe they have their own. You jump to the big wood smokers, and you've got, 250 gallons?
So we've got 2,000-gallon pits in the back, and then a big rotisserie. But our trailer that I brought up to
Uh-huh.
the gig that you're talking about with Bonneville.
Uh-huh.
That's a 250
That's
gallon.
the little one. The
Yeah,
250
that's-
gallon
that's
one's the
little one.
portable one.
Yeah.
What did you notice as far as just the flavor goes, how different and why it is such a major jump?
Well, as far as the flavor,
Yeah.
look, and I started pellet.
Uh-huh.
And pellet grills are great. And the story behind Traeger and its history, BYU grad, buying Traeger, taking it public, like it's an amazing story. And it allows a lot of families to smoke in their backyards. But you want to one up and do the next closest thing to that. There's just levels of it. And this is 100% science, right? It's how big you build the fire on the Traegers, the Camp Chefs, all of those. You're just running pellets and it's going to burn no matter what.
It's going to do what it does.
It's going to do what it does. Here it's a science when it's what type of wood are you using, the spacing of the wood, how much wood you're using, all determines the heat and the smoke intensity.
So what are the most popular woods in the industry, and what do you tend to favor personally?
So we favor post oak. That's Central Texas, and that's kind of just all of the cooking style that I was doing as I was just learning and loving it. But there's all sorts that, like back east, there's a lot of hickory. California is a lot of white oak, red oak. Those are hardwoods. There's just mesquite. Mesquite's good for open fire cooking, not necessarily for smoking on an offset. But yeah, I've used hickory. Fruit woods are good to add flavor, but they're not really good for a long smoke. They're just too soft. But adding some cherry or apple to a pork or chicken cook is good.
Not one specialty. I mean, we've already had the brisket. We've had the Thursday special, which was the pork belly burnt ends.
Yeah.
That's available all day.
Yep. Until we sell out.
But yeah, until you sell out. But you've got ribs, you've got turkey breast, you've got chicken thighs. You really do run the gamut when it comes to all the different options.
Yeah. And people when they come in for the first time, sometimes and this was just we got to stick to our guns here kind of thing. They think I'm going the barbecue that they know in Utah. I'm getting a 2-meat plate or a 3-meat plate, right? And it goes outside of barbecue with like mobetas and stuff like that, where you're like, yeah, I want to do a couple different meats. We don't do that. We let you decide exactly what you want to do and how much. So you can have a 5-meat plate and then just tell us a little bit of each because you want to try it all, right? And you just essentially build your own plate, right? And we'll weigh everything out right in front of you. And so people have been accepting of that and done really well. But when they first come in, I try and tell them, try as much as you can.
What I love, because it can be a little intimidating. If you've not done a lot of barbecue, it truly can be a little intimidating. You guys are so friendly. You guys are so easy about it. Try this, have this. This is what I'd recommend. Do you like this? That's really what's great, because it can feel like a lot when you come in and you say, oh, I don't know. I've never tried these things, or I don't know what to expect or what it should taste like. You're going to pick it up really quick.
Yeah. And that was one thing that we were afraid of, was being able to get the type of employee that you would see down in Texas. They're all happy. And, we were worried, like, are we going to get that here in Utah? We're just angry drivers. We're angry, right? And we don't want to have the old Seinfeld soup guy.
Yeah,
right?
exactly
I'm not gonna say the full name.
Yeah.
No pork for you.
Yeah, right.
Right. It's we want everybody to have it's a total experience. Doesn't matter if the food's good, service is crappy, people aren't going to want to come back.
We're talking dining in today because you've got the TVs up, you got multiple games on now as they get going here.
Yep.
But you do takeout, catering as well?
Yeah, we do. We do takeout, except for the busiest times on the weekend. We're not open to order online. You can come in and be in line and do takeout. Otherwise, you can order online all day. We have a lot of people doing that now, coming in and taking it home.
11610 District Drive in South Jordan. We're at the district. Come on down. Open now. Open until 8 o'clock tonight, 9 through the weekend. Watch the basketball, including BYU's game tonight. Going to be on 525. Bring the family down, all the TVs. Maybe they'll make an exception if there's a specific game you want to watch. But BYU is going to be on if you're looking for a place to watch the game. This is the best place to do it. Kenny, thanks for jumping on.
All right, that BYU game's a cable game. That's TBS.
Yeah.
So if you've cut the cord and you don't have it,
it's not on at home.
It's time to plan a dinner out. 5:25, right at dinner time, and come on down and watch it here.
And we haven't mentioned this yet, but I think the ads have, if you come in today and mention 1280 The Zone, you get 10% off your meal.
All right.
Right. I don't know if we made that clear, but it was
Okay.
it was in the advertising that we were doing. So
Just a simple
10% off your order.
I heard Kenny J on The Zone, and you get 10% off.
You could just say, I hate Kenny J, but I heard you were there on The Zone, and just you'll get 10% there, even if you hate me.
No one's going to say that.
Yeah.
Nor does anyone feel that way about you. We certainly don't.
All right.
All right. Scotty G is going to join us coming up next, getting you ready for Utah State and Villanova. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.